The short period of 1933 to 39 is of crucial importance as it culminated in the Second World War. Economic problems caused the Locarno Treaty of 1925 to fade away, and the new mantra was every country for itself. Affairs were dominated by three aggressors: Japan, Italy, and Germany. Their extreme nationalism led to many acts of violence and breaches of international agreements, and the world was plunged into total war. In 1931, Japan became the first aggressor with successful invasion of Chinese city Manchuria. Manchuria was a valuable trade outlet, so Japan wanted to keep control of this area. It had been involved in the region since 1890s. During 1904 to 1905, Japan was given Port Arthur and a privileged position in South Manchuria after Russo-Japanese War. But the Chinese influence was growing under Chiang Kai-shek, due to which Japan felt being squeezed out of the valuable province. So Japan successfully invaded Manchuria. Now, Japan began to advance to the rest of northeastern China, to which they had no claim. By 1935, a large part of China had fallen under Japanese control.
Shanghai is the target for an incessant barrage of artillery shells and sky bombs, with the North Station as objective, but anyone in the Chinese city as incidental victim.
At the same time, civil war broke out in China between Kuomintang government under Chiang Kai-shek and communists under Mao Zedong. On the eve of Second World War, Japan controlled most of eastern China.
Another shock to an overshot world.
Die Kundgebungen, mit denen ich empfangen worden bin, haben mich tief bewegt. Man darf meinen Besuch nicht nach demselben Maßstab messen wie die üblichen diplomatischen politischen Besuche. Die Tatsache, dass ich heute nach Deutschland gekommen bin, bedeutet nicht, dass ich morgen woanders hinfahren werde.
In the early days of Mussolini's regime, Italian foreign policy seemed rather confused. Mussolini wanted to make Italy great, respected, and feared, but he did not know how apart from demanding revision of 1919 peace settlement in favor of Italy. During 1923 to 34, his main concerns were regarding France and its influence in Balkan and Mediterranean region, and regarding Germany and its influence over Austria. He dealt with both problems using diplomacy and tried to cultivate good relations with the USA, Britain, Russia, Greece, Hungary, and Albania. After 1934, Mussolini drifted from extreme suspicion of Hitler to admiration and desire to imitate him. The more he fell under Hitler's attitude, the more aggressive he became. So, in October 1935, Mussolini, encouraged by Japan and Germany, successfully invaded Abyssinia. In the year 1936, an understanding soon followed Italy and Germany called the Rome-Berlin Axis. The following month, Hitler signed the Anti-Comintern Pact with Japan. The Comintern, or Communist International, was an organization set up in 1919 by Vladimir Lenin with the aim of starting communist parties in other countries to work for revolution. In the summer of 1936, the Spanish Civil War broke out. Both Hitler and Mussolini sent help to the Spanish dictator Francisco Franco, while the Republicans received Russian help.
Du meine Arbeit für richtig hältst, ob du glaubst, dass ich fleißig gewesen bin, dass ich gearbeitet habe, dass ich mich in diesen Jahren für dich eingesetzt habe, dass ich anständig meine Zeit verwendet habe im Dienste meines Volkes.
Hitler hoped to make Germany a great power again, but some historians feel that Hitler intended to achieve more by capturing Czechoslovakia, Poland, and Russia as far as the Ural Mountains. This would give Germans the Lebensraum, the living space. On the other hand, A.J.P. Taylor feels that Hitler never wanted a major war. He was at best prepared for a limited war against Poland. Hitler began his foreign policy with a series of successes. In 1933, he withdrew Germany from Disarmament Conference and League of Nations. In 1935, he announced reintroduction of conscription. He sent troops into Rhineland in violation of Versailles and Locarno. He formed the Rome-Berlin Axis and signed the Anti-Comintern Pact with Japan. And in 1938, Hitler annexed Austria.
The members of that government do not hesitate to say that they desire to achieve the ruin of the British Empire. And no doubt, they would rejoice if they could treat us as they're treating the victims who are already within their grip.
British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain wanted to avoid war at all cost. Many in Britain thought that threat of communism was greater than the threat of Hitler. They were willing to ignore the unpleasant features of Nazism in the hope that Hitler's Germany would be a buffer against communist expansion westward.
For the waiting world and for posterity, the scenes of deliberation. There is no large, long
On September the 29th, 1938, Hitler invited Britain and France to meet in Munich. It was agreed that Germany will get Sudetenland but no more of Czechoslovakia. Czechs and Russians were not invited to the conference.
Molotov and von Ribbentrop got together, and the Nazis and communists signed a pact. It was a betrayal by the communists, and the world was plunged into war.
August 1939, Hitler signed a non-aggression pact with Russia. It was agreed to divide Poland between Russia and Germany. Hitler was now convinced that Russia will be neutral, while Britain and France would not interfere. So, September the 1st, 1939, Germany invaded Poland. September the 3rd, Britain declared war on Germany and France soon followed, starting the Second World War. The debate still goes on about who or what was responsible. Was it the Versailles Treaty for filling Germans with bitterness and desire for revenge? Was it the League of Nations which failed to secure disarmament? Or was it the world economic crisis without which Hitler would have never come to power? Whatever the reason was, but it costed around 60 million deaths and unprecedented devastation of Europe, once again blocking the European unity.